Mm, let's move on to part two. Describe a movie that you recently watched. Mm, about 3 hours ago, me and my sister have just watched the film called Interception, which is directed by Christopher Nolan. And yes, the story is, set around the thief, he names Cop, and he wants to, steal the secrets, within the subconscious, during the deep dream state. And he's offered the chance to have his criminal history, erased if he can, successfully plan an idea, you know, into into the into the target, subconscious, and is known as perception, inception. Yes, I pretty enjoy the movie, because of its unique and the complicated plot, and the stunning visual effects. And yes, I love the due to the strong performances by the cast, particularly Leonardo DiCaprio, the main character. And the concept of exploring and manipulating dreams was pretty fascinating. you know it's pretty outstanding state of the art and thought provoking. Let's move on to part 3. The part 3 consists 8 questions, and yeah, now let's start with question 1. What are the most people type of movies in your country? In my country, actions or cartoons or superhero movies, are incredibly popular. Yes, in my country, Vietnam. Mm, for example, there are lots of films that they're extremely attractive. Yes, and additionally, drama films and comedy films are it's also really popular, and it influenced to all citizens in Vietnam. And yes, their income has gained over years. Let's move on to question 2. How have movies changed in the past few decades? The movie has changed considerably, over the past few decades, due to the development of technology. Some sound effects or graphics, you know, are become really realistic and sophisticated. It's allowed for more stunning films and outstanding hits. And the rise of digital development services. And yes, it's also changed people access to watch movies. And the films are in the modern day, films are now evolved with with more complex narratives, and and yes, and their representation too. Let's move on to question 3. What makes a movie successful? The movie, the one single movie can be more successful in based to several factors, you know including the timeline of the story, or just a storyline, or the strong character development, or high quality of the film, and effective marketing, and also the power performance of the cast. Yes, audience engagement, and your positive word of mouth also play a crucial role. Let's move on to question 4. Do you think that films can influence people's behavior, and how? Yes, definitely. Films, can influence people behavior, by by controlling their perceives their attitudes and also the emotions. For instance, some movies can raise awareness, about social issues, and inspire positive, you know um, changes, or it promotes the understanding for all the audience. And yes, they can also you know provide cultural norms or values, to or challenging your extincting beliefs. Let's move on to question 5. Should films be educational, or is it enough for them to just entertain? mm, from my perspective, while entertainment, is a primary purpose of films, they can also be educational. And these films can inform and educate audience, on various type of topics, such as history, science fiction, or biology or social issues. Why is still being just for entertaining. Balancing education and entertainment, can balance the film impact on the audience, which is form of different kinds of aspects. Let's move on to question 6. What is the role of special effects in modern films? Mm, in my opinion, special effects plays a crucial role, in modern films, by enhancing the visual experience or making impossible, unbelievable, or you can just do incredible scenarios. And they allowed, filmmakers, to create the fantastical worlds, or lifelike, animations, or thereby expanding, the possibilities. Let's move on to question 7. How important is a good storyline compared to other aspects of the movie, such as the acting and the special effects? Well, the good storyline, is pretty fundamental to the movie's success, and it provides, the foundation to all the factors. And while acting and special effects are you know are pretty important, they can often secondary to your strong narrative. Okay, let's move on to question 8, our final question. Do you think the film industry has a significant impact on global culture? I opine that the film industry has a significant impact, on the global culture, and movies often transcend cultural boundaries, and influence the fashion, the language, and some trends. And they can also raise the cultural understanding, in order to promote global awareness, of different cultures and issues. That was the end of my English practice of today. And again, thank you for listening.